So we're back on the Transport Evolved channel. I don't know what happened there. The microphone died, and it's not my fault. Blame YouTube. That's what I'm going to say. Blame YouTube, because I did nothing. And for some reason, things all went a bit wrong, but that's okay. We are fixing it, and hopefully everybody will join us. All these people are now coming back into the chat. So hello, everybody. I don't know what happened. Things died. It's all I can say. It died. It was dead. And so I guess we started again. So hello, there we go. Interestingly, with this new setup for YouTube, you can't stop things from you can't change the audio. So it's restarting. We're all good. We're all absolutely good. So where was I? Questions. Now you can hear me. So I don't know how much of that we heard. Did you hear anything about Vegas? Did you hear anything about Vegas? And Erin had a fantastic thing, which is like, free. Are you going to? They want me to introduce you formally. Come here.
Okay. Instead of me just kind of
just be in the background. Okay, everybody. This is this. You disturbed her animation. This is Erin.
Hi. Hello.
Erin is an animator. You can see what she's working on in the background if you've got like laser eyesight.
There you go. Here.
And she's no big reveal tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, no big reveal tomorrow. And Erin does not drive an electric car.
No, I don't.
Because she's a poor student. Well, not anymore. You're a poor graduate.
I graduated, so now I'm a poor graduate, which is.
And I'm trying to fix that problem.
I appreciate it a lot.
With help from you guys at
Thank
home.
you.
So this is going to be the slow transition and growth of Transport Evolved, and Erin's already come up with some great ideas. We're already working on some animations for making the channel look better and sound better, because I can't animate really. I can stand in front of a camera and talk, but I can't do anything else. So
as I like to say, my job is making things look pretty. So I mean,
yeah, we've already talked about sets, about changing the set back there and some of the other things, and she's on probation for a month. And after a month, if Erin can still stand me and I can still stand her, then we'll make this a part-time.
It's terrible. How?
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm working here.
Well, you're a contractor right now, so you could actually just literally walk out the door. I mean, so Erin's going to be in the studio for a couple of days a week, and
being able to actually use my degree. Ew.
Yes. So she is an animation major, and she's getting to grips with the Transport Evolved way of doing things, which translates to whichever way I thought was the easiest way when I did it, and as I'm discovering, it's not necessarily the easiest way.
No, it's just different programs and things like that. My college program used a lot of After Effects and Adobe programs and things like that, so it's kind of, but I mean, fortunately I use Mac programs, so it's not too far off, but it's like, you know, it's like, oh, wait a minute.
So yeah, so Erin's going to be behind the scenes most of the time. She's going to be involved in
I'll be behind the scenes.
Literally behind the scenes in the background, editing stuff. And I don't know if people can see this thing right where I'm pointing in the pen there, that little box of tricks, the flashy light. That is the new 10 gigabit network interface that we purchased, just so that we can link you up to that server, and I can work on stuff, and we can all both be working on stuff at the same time. And we do need to get a new look at this.
What's the big one? Oh God!
Too soon. Too soon.
I'm sorry.
All right. So there we go. I'm going to dispatch Erin because she's only here for like another hour. And I'm leaving in about an hour and a half, and I'm leaving.
Like
we're both leaving in about an hour and a half.
Hour and 20.
So we're going to try and get this animation done by the end of the day.
The animation, it's
is it done?
Pretty much done. It's on there if you want to look at it later.
I'm gonna go and look at it in a second when we're done, because I'm not that rude.
And then I'm gonna do the signs, and I think I should finish the signs.
Do the signs as well. So yay! And then next week we can set you off on some new stuff.
Yay!
There's a big board. You can't see it right there. I'm not going to show you because it's got my password for my SS for my wireless network, and you could probably all learn things. Are you using the old PC Mac? Or you got a new one? That is my edit laptop. That's the thing that it does belong to Transport Evolved. It's the one behind.
That one's my laptop.
So that one is yours, and then the one behind is my laptop, and we're using that for the next month. And then once Erin stops being a contractor and hopefully becomes a full-time or part-time employee,
fingers crossed,
then we'll get her an edit iMac like mine, but not quite as expensive, because I can't.
What? You're not getting me the super expensive one?
Maybe you'll get this one and I'll get the cheap one. I mean, the stuff I do is really not very powerful. But there we go. Maybe get her to do a video or two. She is going to be doing a video with us as a video challenge coming up in the pipeline, involving a Top Gear style race around Portland. I am trying to rope a couple of other people into this, and I've got to do the logistics to make sure that everybody's in the same place at the same time, because we're going to get Kate and Elliot down from nearly Seattle. I'll say nearly Seattle, so I won't give away where she lives. So nearly Seattle all the way down to Portland, and she'll take part as well. And we've got another YouTuber who I'm trying to rope in to take part as well. And then it'll be a race around town, and you'll get to be on camera.
Yay!
for a little bit, and we'll see where it goes from there. So thank you, Erin. So now everybody knows who Erin is, rather than keep saying who's the person behind you. You can guarantee, like in a second, somebody new will join the stream and go,
and I'll just come.
There's somebody behind you.
I'm a thief. Ooh.
Really? There's someone in my office. Oh God. Okay. This is a question I can't believe I'm being asked this. All right. You want me to ask that? They're asking, have you seen Queenie?
Yes. Of course.
There you go.
That was a lot of shocks at once. Funny enough, I actually met her at a convention, so
yeah, there you go. That's how. Yeah, we were doing
is important, guys.
Cosplay.
Oh yeah.
Erin was doing her cosplay, and there we go. So, has anyone seen Rich Rebuild's video today? He's getting a shop. Really? I did not see that. That's very cool. So there we go. Are you still using the old PC Mac? Oh, I've got that one. I'm just getting buffering. I'm sorry. Not my fault. So where was I? CES in Vegas. Right. So we're going to CES in Vegas, and we're going to be taking the whole team. So we're going to be taking Erin. We're going to be taking Kate Walton Elliott. Not my Kate, my friend Kate, not the one I'm married to. Complicated. The British Kate. The British Kate is coming with us. My American Kate is staying at home looking after the dogs and the rest of the family. So she and I will be going down, and Erin will be going down. We're probably going to be taking the Bolt with us. We're going to drive all the way to Vegas, which is about 1,000 miles from where we live. It's longer, obviously, for Kate because she lives up near Seattle. So it's going to be quite a long drive. And the reason we're driving is so that we can take all of the people that we need to take, and we can take all of the gear that we need to take. Because when we go and film an event, all of this stuff behind you here needs to go. We've got all of the other things going on as well. Like we'll probably take a couple of edit machines. We're going to have to take, watch me pull this out and break the computer. There's a big hard drive here that is currently a 6 terabyte hard drive. It's a 6 terabyte Thunderbolt system. We're going to be upgrading that to 20 terabytes when we go to Vegas, because last year we used this little drive here, which is 4 terabytes. We filled that up in a day or two. So we're going to be filling up a lot more content, doing a lot more filming. We may be upgrading some of our camera gear, which is pretty good. And so that's where we're going. We're driving my car because we do have a hire car kind of in standby, a minivan in standby. But if we drive that, we can't put winter tires on and we can't put snow chains on because of the regulations of hire cars and the agreements. If we take my car has winter tires and I have chains, so I can get over a mountain pass. And there are 2 mountain passes that we need to cross in order to get to Vegas. So that's the easier solution for us. We are not, unless somebody invites me, we're not going to LA in November, unless something drastic changes between now and then. So Vegas takes precedent over LA, just simply and purely because there's more car tech at CES these years, and more kind of demonstrations and stuff like that. And in the past couple of years, going to CES has been a really great thing for the business, really great thing to grow the company, to grow the business and move forwards. So where else are we? We've got a Nissan Leaf staff car update on the way. I recently took our 2013 Nissan Leaf out on a range test, and I think I did 54 miles driving, and I had 13 miles remaining when I got back, predicted on the range. So we're saying 55 to 60 miles in good weather, maybe 50 miles in less nice weather when you've got 2 capacity bars lost. And we've now got the new Leaf Spy for that, so we can plug the Leaf Spy in and make sure all of the stuff is working. And actually, one of the things that I'm doing today is these 2 cameras, TEGP1 and TEGP2, have a lot of the data on, and I'm transferring some of the footage off those for the thing, as well as 1 and 2 memory cards from one of the other cameras. So lots of footage to transfer, lots of things to look at there. We've also got a feature coming up on the Faraday Future cars, and I had some pretty extensive interviews with Faraday Future there in Pebble Beach, and so that's coming up. And we've also got a feature on an electric Morris Minor, which needs to be done in the next couple of weeks, and that's from a road trip I made in the UK back when I went to see my sister and when I went to do Fully Charged Life. So there's lots of cool things in the hopper coming along. A review of the rental service, the white car rental service, which is fantastic. So all these other things that are coming down the pipeline. And with Erin on board, it makes it a lot easier for me to produce more content. I say her name and she's like, she just gives me a thumbs up. With Erin on board, it's a lot easier to have regular content produced. Producing all this content means I have to kind of sit and plan, and I have to make scripts, and then we have to film, and then we have to edit. And when we do outdoor broadcasts, you know, stuff that includes things like the GoPros, it takes a lot of time and energy to offload all that footage, to edit it all. Good morning, Stephen. And so it makes it a lot simpler when there's somebody else in the office, you know, doing the animation, doing the features, doing some ingesting. Erin did some ingesting for me last week as part of her interview process. I have yet to show her 10. I said, I'm not going to give you 10 to do yet. She's doing a bug for 10, but probably in a month or 2, I will actually get her to edit a real 10 from start to finish. She did one of the videos last week, which you may not have noticed. She helped me produce that and did some kind of cutting up of footage. So it's quite a long learning process, but she's very quick and she's learning all kinds of cool things very quickly. So hopefully that means we'll have more stuff coming online in the future. We're also going to try and do content at the weekend. Now, if I can get my way, we will start producing content at the weekend and doing like a featured video on a Saturday and a Sunday. And the featured videos will not be news-based. They'll be a little bit more informal. And I am examining, today, probably a good place of saying it, I am examining the possibility of bringing back the weekend show, Transport Evolved. I am thinking about bringing that back because a lot of people have asked for it, and it seems to be a very fun show that a lot of people want to do. But I'm considering bringing it back for Transport Evolved patrons. Let me know what you think. If you are a patron through Patreon and you are interested in joining in, let me know what you think about that, because it's something that I am considering bringing back as a kind of an exclusive perk. The other super exciting thing that I should talk about is in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a special with Patreon, talking about a special offer that is only going to be available for a limited time. And if you are a Patreon supporter already, you'll get an option to have this special offer. If you sign up as a Patreon supporter during that period, you'll also have an access to that offer above a certain amount. And the hope is that what we will do is bring the special in, so you guys will have some extra value add. But right now, I'm still trying to think about what that limited time special would be. So if there's anything that you'd really like from us at Transport Evolved that you think we could provide as a limited Patreon supporter special, just for those few weeks, let me know in the comments below. Reach out. I'm on Twitter at A Minor Journey. You can also reach out to Transport Evolve on Twitter at Transport Evolve, and we can see if we can come up with a great promotional item that you guys would like and that we are happy to provide. Let me have a look at some of the comments. The British are coming. So nice to see Kate again. Yeah, she's lovely. The British are here. I'm a patron, but I've seen the weekend show below. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that, John. Right. Yeah, so we used to have the weekend show way back in 2000 we started it, I think, in 2010, maybe 2011, all the way up to 2015. And then we stopped doing it because we moved to America and there was nowhere for me to film it. I didn't have this studio. Life got in the way. And so we're now at a point where we are considering bringing it back. What kind of impact have you seen so far with the card processing issues that Patreon has? I'm not sure what card processing issues you're talking about, Stephen. Do you mean when they changed how they were going to be doing the payment processing fees? Because they've actually took that back to where it was previously because there was such a kickback. Now, there have been some issues with cards being processed, but most of those seem to be gone now. So our income is slightly lower than it was. Our goal is to increase our income even more. And the reason why I hired someone is so that I can show you guys what we can do when we're bringing in more income, and kind of give you an idea of what we could do if there was more of us around and doing stuff. So consider this something of a taster, maybe, and we can move forward for that. I'm also looking at doing some collabs, some more collabs, because I've done some fantastic collabs in the past. I'm hoping to get some more collabs going. I had a great idea for a collab. Unfortunately, the person I wanted to do it with is not going to be in town for a while, so I may have to wait or cancel that one and do it at another time. There was a problem with card companies wrongly flagging Patreon as fraud for many people in the last month or so. Well, maybe that would explain. I did have like $160, $170 worth of declined payments, which was much larger than normal. So let's see. I can tell you. I can look at the information. Need to make my screen a little smaller here. So yeah, we were about $150 down last month on donations, which I hope we can sort out. So here we go. Lots of notifications, actually. I hope people have not dropped off. Yep. So we've had some more deletions and we've had some more pledges. It kind of evens out. But if we look at last month, and in terms of, yeah, we lost about, $150 from payments that didn't work. There were, let's see, declines. Oh, it went down. It was down to 60. At one point, it was 150, and now it was down to 60. So we lost about $60 worth of Patreon support that much. You did not eat them. That is not a thing you do. You eat tails, nothing else. All right. My live streams are always a bit weird, but then I am a bit weird, so that's good. I guess it translates pretty well. So there is also a rant coming up on the channel that I wanted your by asking your thoughts. So in the last couple of days, I've had lots of people comment on videos, comment in posts, comment on Twitter, basically saying, why would you buy X car when you can buy Y? And Y normally being a Tesla of some description. And the answer is very simple. The answer is cars are a personal purchase decision. When we buy a car, it's probably the second largest investment that most of us will make in our lives, the largest being buying a home. And so therefore, when we buy a car, we want to make sure that we're spending we're spending our money on exactly the right thing for us. We want to make sure that the car meets our needs and our expectations, and we need to make sure that we're going to be happy driving it, we're going to be happy using it, and we're going to be able to use it in a way that complements our identity and also our lifestyle. If everybody is buying the same car, then it's impossible for those considerations to be used. And so I am one who welcomes all of these different vehicles coming to market, whether they be fully electric, long-range luxury cars, whether they be SUVs, whether they be town runabouts. I welcome them all. I would even go as far as to say that I would much rather see, short-range cars coming back into the marketplace as new vehicles, maybe. So instead of offering, say, a 40 kilowatt hour Nissan Leaf and a 60 kilowatt hour Leaf, they might offer a 20, a 40, and a 60, and maybe an 80, or the same for for other cars. And we're starting to see it. I mean, Hyundai's doing it with the Kona electric, which is the Kona EV, which is a good thing. And I think more car companies need to do that moving forwards, so that more people are able to get behind the wheel of a plug-in vehicle. It's not just the wealthy, it's not just people at the top of the ladder. And so when you sort of say, well, why would anybody buy this car? Because Tesla makes a faster model, or Tesla is more, got more tech, or Tesla does this, or Tesla does that. You're missing the fundamental point, which is that car buying is a subjective process. And in order for that to be truly subjective, we have to acknowledge that not everybody wants the same features. People still expect me to own a Tesla Model 3 because I've been involved in the electric auto industry now for 11 years, nearly 12 years. I've been covering electric cars professionally now for 8, 9 years. And so they go, well, okay, you've been around, you've an early adopter, you have all of these cars that you've owned, electric cars, plug-in hybrids, so why don't you own a Tesla Model 3? And for me personally, it boils down to two very simple things. One, I'm not a fan of the interior of the Model 3 as an everyday driver. And two, I couldn't make a Model 3 work for me because I need a car with a hatchback. I need a car with a large load bay. I need to be able to get large items in there easily and carry bulky items, but also to be able to keep those bulky items hidden when I need to. And so for me, the Chevrolet Bolt EV made a better choice personally. So that's why I leased that car. Does it make me a bad person? No. Does it mean that I don't know what I'm talking about? No. It just means that my personal decision for my own personal car was that the Tesla Model 3 didn't fit my needs. Did that mean that I gave the Model 3 a bad review? No, it didn't. I gave the Model 3 a really very good review. I talked about how fantastic it was to drive, how much I enjoyed it, and how it was one of the best cars I've ever driven. And I think we need to be really careful as enthusiasts, as people who are on the cutting edge, the bleeding edge, to make sure that we don't get stuck in this kind of rut of picking on people for not sharing the same brand decisions, the same desire to own a particular car. It's different. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Can't see the chocolate. What are you talking about chocolate hobnobs for? Who's been to? I don't have any chocolate hobnobs right now. I have chocolate digestives and some other biscuits somewhere. All right, not everyone needs a 300-mile range, which costs a lot in battery. Totally true. Not everyone wants all the high-tech stuff. I like the style of the old Leaf. True. For Model 3 you get right now so much more in the bucks of the other e-cars. It's very true. Sure, I'd love a Tesla S or X, but even used, they're way out of my price range, and a used i3 was the perfect price though, exactly. So how much more for the buck? How? It starts at 50K right now, and not everyone needs 300 miles of range per charge. I don't like the i3, the Leaf, almost every other EV is more for the buck to me. Yeah. Bolt. Rolf, I don't get that. Fundamentally, not everyone can afford a Tesla. True. I never spent more than about 10 grand UK on a car, and I'm not about to do now. I agree with British Kate on this, yes. Also, appearance is subjective, yep. I've been driving a 2015 Leaf for the last 2 years and got to try driving around in a friend's Model 3 all weekend, and weirdly, it felt heavy. It is a big, heavy car. We do another electric motorbike video. Affordable motorbikes don't seem to have a good top speed, priced at 5 grand. Have you considered the Kona after your lease? Yes. He was rolling on the floor saying you'd rather have a Bolt. Well, I mean, it is individuals. The individual people have, and that's exactly the point, right? If you're trolling someone because they've made a decision that doesn't align with your views, you have to sit down and ask yourself, are they spending my money? Okay. If you wrote someone a blank check for a car and said, go buy a car, and then they bought a car that maybe you thought was a poor choice, then maybe you could say, well, actually, I think you're an idiot. Or even if you said, hey, here's a check, go buy a Tesla, and they come back with a car that's different, then you would have every right to be angry. But it's their money, their decision, and you can't dictate which car they buy any more than I can dictate. I can stand out in the street and tell people they need to buy an EV. I can't do that. And that's never been the way that I have approached this technology, this sphere. You have to say to people, hey, I drive this. This works for me. I really like it. Here's what I feel. Here's the benefits as I see them. And people have to sit down and make their own purchase decision. And they have to think through exactly how they want to buy this vehicle. And maybe this is something I need to do. Maybe I need to make a video on this. All right. Some people pull faces at my i3. Yes, I mean, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. And yes, with regards to motorbikes, I am waiting for a certain motorbike company to finally get back to me and say, yes, you can ride this bike for a week. We agreed on a review loan of a motorbike a couple of months back. And then for reasons I can't remember, we had to cancel that particular week and shift it. And I've never been able to get the bike since. So we'll see. And we are actually considering whether we switch our Leaf out. I mean, it's one of the things we're thinking about at the moment. What do I think of the underwhelming range of the EQC 400? Right, okay, so this is really interesting. So the EQC 400, when they launched it, when they had the live stream, they talked about a range of at least 200 miles per charge, right? And that hit all the headlines. I reported on it, plenty of other outlets reported on it. And what's happened is that the EQC has an NEDC range that's much larger, about 280 miles per charge. I think it's 279. And Daimler advertised that range rather than the range that Mercedes-Benz was saying. And so kind of the communication has come down that the 200 miles we quoted originally was incorrect. and a direction for all journalists and like myself to use the NEDC range instead. So I will be covering that on tomorrow's show. If we look at 250 miles, which is I think probably a more reasonable example. I mean, let's talk. I normally talk about using 80% of the NEDC range as a real world. So let's just do the maths here. 279. So 223. So 223, 230 miles. That's not so bad. For a big car as well. For a big car that's not great and efficient. Just ordered a Zoe here in Dublin. Renault does a great finance deal I couldn't resist. First EV, can't wait. Hope real world range is 280 kims. I think you might be, unfortunately, I think you might be a little disappointed. Let's see what that works out to. I think you're going to get nearer to, I think you're going to get nearer to 230 from the Renault. That's going to be my my guesstimate for the Renault Zoe 40 is about 230 kims, which is about 140 miles. Sorry. Good coffee. So I'm going to have to start actually doing some other work soon. So EQC range is realistically about equal to the Tesla 70. Yeah, that's what I would say. 69,000 miles done and mine lost 2 kilowatts from battery. 2 kilowatt hours. Is that in the Tesla? Is that what we're looking at? Oh, the i3. Right, okay, yeah. Just happy to be moving to an EV at last. And you know what? Frank, you are totally right. All right, Walter, let's go for this. All right, I'm going to talk about this because it's kind of crazy, really, okay? The church of Elon Musk, okay? Even Erin is laughing and she doesn't cover the area. She's learning all about this stuff, okay? And I think Elon was bad to be, it was inappropriate of Elon to actually announce what he did. And I think it's inappropriate, and I think he shouldn't be doing this. And to call someone a pedophile, unless you've got irrefutable evidence to suggest that, is not an appropriate thing to do. I'm not Elon Musk, I don't have the evidence. Honestly, part of me wonders if it's an attempt to distract us from something else that's going on. And as noted in the chat, many people can't separate company spokesperson from the company itself, and that's true. And I think you need to remember that, you know, he opens his mouth and words come out and people pay attention. And that is that's a thing. That's a thing that happens. So unfortunately, that's all I have. That's all I have really for that one. That's all I feel that I can comment on this. I don't know. And maybe that's not the answer that you want, but I don't know if I'm qualified to answer right now. All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. There will be a new show up later on today. I'm going to try and make coffee and a chat a thing once a week on this channel with people who support the channel, who want to watch. And I know it's a smaller view count than the main channel. If I was on the main channel right now, I'd be at like thousands of viewers rather than tens or hundreds of viewers. But I'm really very grateful for you guys for watching, and spread the word, spread the love. Show coming today on flying cars, and then tomorrow we'll have 10 as usual. So and short shorts is a thing. Short shorts is going to have its own animation. It's right there on that computer. Top secret. Anyway, we will see you soon, guys. Take care and keep evolving.